This is Alan Pratt with Hawkeye Consulting Advisors. I'm here to talk to you about TOC for project management. TOC stands for Theory of Constraints, and the idea with any project that project management is responsible for is that they create a sequence of events to find the critical path, and this happens to be wrong. It doesn't matter if you're using a waterfall technique or if you're using agile, it doesn't matter. The idea is wrong from the start. First, what you have to do is identify the sequences of events that include both the work content and the buffer time. Everybody knows, if you're involved with project management, that everyone, when they're asked for their contribution to complete a project, they always allow extra time. It's human nature. So what you need to know is really what's the work content and what's the buffer time included in everyone's estimate, especially everyone's estimate that's on the critical path. But you put it together as if it's a critical chain. Each link is linked together to go from the start of the project to the end, to the finish, to the deadline. And so what you do is you link each of those tasks together by first identifying work content, from work content to work content to work content to work content, and accumulate all that buffer time, put it all together, take it out of each individual stage in the project, put it all at the end of the project. And so now what you have is the same amount of time. You may want to minimize the buffer time a little bit. It's up to you and your company and what you need. But leave the buffer time there on the timeline, but just put it in a different place. And the thing that you do then to manage, if you're a project manager, you manage the project by alerting the next step in the process that their start date is coming up. And so when you're working on step number 1, you tell the person responsible for step number 2, get ready, because we're going to be coming to you next. Now, if you're late, don't worry about it. No one says that, but that's really how it works. If any one of those steps is late, remember, you still have all the buffer time at the end of the project, so that's really what you manage. You manage the next step in the process and the buffer time, and if you still have extra time available before you get to the end, you're good. You don't have to get excited, you don't have to yell, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to switch from waterfall technique to agile or back, and it works. So for example, I had an occasion back during the Y2K days with a large enterprise resource planning or ERP system, working with a company that had tried and failed 2 times before to launch their enterprise software package, their ERP package. And so I had responsibility in late 1998 to take over the project, and that's what we did. We identified what was the work content to be done, and in the end we finished the project 6 months ahead of our deadline. So the process works. TOC for project management, to identify the work content and separate that from the buffer time, the extra time, to build the project according to just the work content, put the buffer time all at the end. And number 3, to, as a project manager, alert the next person that's responsible for the next step that their responsibility is coming up. And try it. If you need help, I can help you. This has been Alan Pratt with Hawkeye Consulting Advisors. We turn problems into profits.